I don't know. You know, it's tough to say. I mean, Glover Teixeira is and has been one of the toughest guys in the division for a very long time. This was his dream forever to get this title shot. He finally gets it, and he did it tonight. Yeah, I mean, he's a great guy. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I saw you guys having quite a long conversation in the cage afterwards. Can you share what he was saying and what it means for you to have a guy who's been on your roster for so long finally get this title?
He was telling me that he was supposed to be on The Ultimate Fighter, and you know, he had the visa problems, and you know how that changed the course of his life, not being able to get back in the country when he should have been in the UFC at that time. He was just going through the whole story, you know, and it's. I said, better late than never, buddy.
Yeah, I think we're all fans of combat sports, and this is one of those moments where a guy struggles through a crazy journey like that to see this come off. This is like the best part of this sport, right?
Yeah, I mean, this guy never gave up all the adversity that he's faced in his career. And here at 42 years old, a few days after his birthday, he wins the title. So it's a pretty cool story. Couldn't happen to a better guy, too.
Another cool moment.
But the thing that sucks is Jan is a great guy, too.
Yeah,
you know, this is one of those fights you didn't want to see anybody lose.
Another cool moment was when Khamzat picks up his opponent, turns, walks towards you while screaming and shouting at you, and slams him down. I'm very curious what he happened to be saying.
Yeah, he was yelling crazy shit at me the whole fight. I don't know why, but basically just saying, you know, I'm going to fight everybody. I'll fight Brock Lesnar. I don't care who it is. You know, he's just yelling stuff like that.
Yeah, he's basically picked up right where he left off, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, listen, last time we were here, we knew this guy was special. Something, you know, this COVID thing is one of the weirdest things any of us have ever seen. You get some people that fit the profile, you know, to be high risk, and it doesn't even feel like a bad cold to them. And then a guy who's in phenomenal shape like this guy gets hit as hard as he did by COVID. But he's back, and there's no doubt this kid's special.
Yeah. What do you do with him, right? Because he wants to fight, as you say, all the time. But you also need to start putting him against, like, top-tier guys. Do you just say, well, he can fight whoever says yes until there's an opening against a top-tier guy, or do you make him sit and wait until he fights a contender?
It's tough once you start to break into the top 10, which he will do on Tuesday. But yeah, listen, if he wants to stay busy, I'm a big believer in that anyway, especially with the huge layoff he's had. So I don't know. We would figure it out if that's really what he wanted to do.
I mean, it's hard to say right now, right? Because he's only been hit twice in 4 UFC fights. But what do you think the ceiling is on this guy?
How about he's got more wins in the UFC than he's been hit in the UFC? That's crazy.
Yeah. Similarly, another similar dominant performance by Islam tonight. Again, another guy who's pushing against those top guys and needs to get a top-ranked guy. What do you do with him next?
Yeah, you know, he's ready for somebody in the top 5. You know, he's ready top 5, top 3, whatever becomes available, and then obviously if he gets through that, he's in line for a title shot.
Is it hard to find these guys fights? Do you get? I mean, like, I can't imagine many people looking at Khamzat being like, absolutely, you know. Or
I think it'll be easier to get him fights now. I mean, now that once you get into that top 5, you know, people have to fight you if they want to become the best.
And then last thing for me, a scuffle in the crowd between Hasbulla and Abdu. I just, you know, no one wants to see that sort of carnage. Can we get them in the cage to sort this out properly?
Yeah, that was funny. I don't know what the deal is with those two, why they don't like each other, but
yeah. People too similar, you know, fall out all the time. I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, it happens. It's a rough business.
Book it.
All right.
Dana, right here next to him. Petr Yan and Kordzenikin, obviously fight of the night, but a lot of fans are just raving about that fight, just nonstop action throughout the entire fight. So when you're sitting cage side, like you said at the press conference, these two could very well be the two best bantamweights in the world. So this fight had to have lived up to the expectations, correct?
Yeah. What fight did you think was fight of the night?
Co-main event. I said you gave it fight of the night, but what were your thoughts while the fight was actually playing out in front of you?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, the fight was awesome. Talking about Sandhagen and yeah, Sandhagen, you know, staying on the outside and using his distance. Well, the counter punching by both of those guys, the body punching by both of those guys, the kicks to the body. I mean, those two went to absolute war tonight. Peter Yan is a savage. I mean, this guy is unbelievable. He's unstoppable. He just keeps moving forward. And here we are, you know. If you look at the way that whole thing played out in the last fight, this was the right way for this to go. He's the champ. He and Aljamain will do it again.
Islam was just in here, and he said the only fights he'll take next are a title fight or #1 contender fight. He said he told you the division needs to change. Everyone in the top 5 has already fought for the title. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, he's not wrong about that. And you never know how this is going to play out. You never know who's going to get injured, who's fighting who's going to lose, who can't fight on such and such a date. Anything's possible.
Well, he seems to want his title fight here in Abu Dhabi.